Madurai. Yadum is a community of healthy families, you say, and with Yadum, we are like a group of homemakers, both dads and moms, and we generally take an extra step to ensure the family the family's health is protected, and we also generally take an extra step to make sure we have necessary knowledge, information, and contacts to make sure our families are placed well when it comes to health. Okay. In this context, we have a weekly meetup every Friday, right? We as a community of people, and we also open it up to people who are interested in that particular topic. We discuss about one particular topic about food or wellness with a guest, and we discuss it in detail for about an hour. This is a very casual discussion that we generally have. The format is we have a guest with us, and we have a set of questions that you have already asked when you registered. We will pick up those questions, and as we speak, if you have any questions to ask to the speaker, you can post it in the chat box. We will try our best to take that question, but priority can be given to the questions that we have got during the registration. No hard and fast rule. We will try to answer everybody, right? And today we have a very interesting guest with us. I'm proud that I live in the same city where our guest lives. We both are in Madurai. Welcome, Hemapriya ma'am. Dr. Hemapriya, welcome. Doctor is an he's a medical doctor, and she's an entrepreneur. She's an author. She writes beautiful blogs about child development, food for young children, and her products and her experiments and her research when it comes to ensuring good food for young children. This is phenomenal. I have been a personal beneficiary of her products, and I have seen a lot of our parents groups. I mean, like a lot of friends in the parent circle who have been of great benefit through Hemapriya ma'am's products and advices. Welcome, Hemapriya ma'am.
Thank you.
Welcome you once again. People, we are directly going to the questions. We have very less time today. 60 minutes going to be like who's right, because we have so many questions that you have already asked. So, ma'am, let me start with the very first question. I'm quite puzzled, right? Being a doctor and now into multiple things, what is your journey like? How did you come here, ma'am?
Okay, so I was a normal doctor only. I was practicing till my second child's birth. But after her birth, we were in Raipur in Chhattisgarh. So that time I didn't have any support. It was very far from Madurai, and my in-laws and mother, they were not able to stay with me for a long time. So I had to take care of my kids alone, and I was in multiple Facebook groups like Moms Group, where people were continuously asking questions about weaning and so many things. So that's when I thought, let me help them out also while I'm doing for my child. So I started sharing recipes and also all informational articles about weaning, about WHO's current, what is the guidelines, etc. And slowly I started my Little Moped, and in 2014, and slowly we started getting a lot of readers, a lot of followers, and the recipes traditional, most of them are traditional South Indian recipes. So when I started posting them, they wanted me to sell it to them also. So that's how we started with our Little Moped Foods company. And slowly now it has been more than 6 years, and we are the most read parenting website in India regarding nutrition and health. So I'm glad my readers are the reason for this. They continuously encourage, support, and their feedback means a lot to us, and that's how we are growing till now. So let us move on to the questions maybe.
Okay, excellent. Pleasure knowing you, ma'am. Ma'am, first, most of the questions, I mean, a good portion of the questions are related to the season and cold with children, right? I think it's very relevant at this particular month, right? What kind of food should we be suggesting for during this season, ma'am?
First, cold for babies is not uncommon. I mean, every baby gets a cold once a month, and you should not be very distressed about that your baby is alone getting cold, because that is a way of developing immunity also. The baby has to fight it, and they will develop immunity. But we also have food sources that will help in immunity. Major of them are nuts, seeds, green leafy vegetables are very, very helpful in promoting immunity. Most of you must be knowing all this, but introducing them in a child's diet is very, very difficult. You know how kids are very, very fussy. So for example, all the nuts can be made as a powder, like we call it the dry fruits powder, and if 1 spoon of powder can be added in all the milk you give, all the shakes you give, all the soups you make, all the atta like chapati atta, you can mix 1 spoon of the dry fruits powder in that. The same way we can mix all the seeds also, flax seeds, sunflower seeds, and there are lots of seeds that have very, very good immunity power. You can add all that. Regular, at least thrice a week, green leafy vegetables, you will have to definitely add it in your baby's diet. That can be done like a khichdi. I don't know how many of you know that. It's like just a parpu sadam. You just put everything in the cooker, like green leafy vegetables, carrot, all the vegetables, and make a khichdi and give to your baby. That is very, 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 very nutritious and easy immunity. You don't have to give them like green leafy vegetables. If you make it as a separate vegetable curry or something, they wouldn't be interested to eat. But when you mix it and make it, they'll easily eat it. So that is one thing. Pumpkins are there. These are all everybody knows, but you'll have to add them daily in your food. Immunity is, there are multiple factors. One is the environment, and one is our diet. Please avoid uh, foods with 0 calories, like shakes, outside cakes, especially cakes, bakes, everything. They don't have any good calories in them, and no good nutrition also in them. Better make them at home. And the environment, if you think that your kid is very, very allergic, or if he gets a very often the cold and cough, there might be 3 reasons. He might be allergic to something like pets, pollens. Your home has lots of flowers and pollens and lots of dust also. He'll be allergic. And dress also, please take care, because that is one thing most of us don't take care. It's always better to wear cotton breathable clothes for babies, not those shiny things, because that also can stimulate an allergy, and that also can create cough and cold. We might be thinking it is cold, it is some virus, but it might be allergic also. So this is one thing I just wanted to stress on today, because many parents don't think about it.
Yes, yes. I particularly see it flooding in the market, ma'am. These days, I mean,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the synthetic dresses which are jazzy looking,
yeah,
in fact, they're very affordable also.
yeah,
But as you rightly pointed out, I think we should be aware of it. And there are questions about this particular pandemic, right?
yeah,
Kabasura Kudineer and all these things. Yes, tough to get adults to drink too.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how do we take care of children in this time, ma'am?
As you know, only the old age, and not only, but mostly it is the COVID is very harmful and very lethal to older age people with multiple health conditions. For children, even though they become positive, they have not shown any signs of being lethality in children. But anyways, even a small cold, now we are so afraid. So one thing I would best tell is, they are at home, we have the full control on them. If they're at school, we won't know what they're doing. So if they're at home, we can give them healthy soups, juices. Juices also can be, you mean vitamin C is very healthy. Our normal lime juice is very healthy. It is very, it gives them super immune power. So I don't think so any specific thing is necessary, except that don't take your kids anywhere out. I can see people traveling in two-wheeler, in threes, fours, taking their kids out everywhere. But please don't do that, because we now there will be a huge spike by October end. So everybody are waiting for that. So I think this is the best time that everyone should stay indoors right now, because everything is open, and everybody are very vulnerable to getting this infection. Though kids are not very much affected, we should be careful anyways.
Hmm, Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Generally, in ancient times, when they say, especially when you have an old age person at home, they talk about changing the food with respect to the climate, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
even go
definitely.
to the moon cycle and sun cycle.
Yeah, yeah,
But when it comes to climate, ma'am, right?
yeah.
So at this particular weather, is there any specific thing that, or one or two things that you want us to follow as parents?
You can add more of dry fruits and things because it's going to be cold climate and it will help them. I mean, during this rainy seasons, it will help get the body immunity, and also it will give the warmth that is necessary. And other than that, soups. I think actually I don't. We eat according to climates, but for kids, I mean, we can. What do I tell? I don't tell them you must eat only this, because then the parents will get obsessed. Okay, I have to give this. They'll keep on
Ah,
giving. Then that will
ah,
be too extreme, and then that will give so much of effect. So always I advise my readers, go moderate in everything. If
hmm,
your baby is not accepting that properly, then you can stop it. Other
hmm,
than that, now it's a good time to give lots of soups and
hmm.
drinks, like you can make a satmav kanji like that and give a warm and full of nutrition. So that's it. I don't advise too heavy thing going on
Hmm.
this season time.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting, ma'am. Interesting. Um, there are also people who are concerned when it comes to weaning away at this particular time, right?
Yeah, you mean
So,
breastfeed weaning.
yeah, breastfeeding. So
Yeah,
when especially in this particular situation, right, there are two sides of argument saying that try to continue breastfeeding a little longer till you get over
yeah,
this pandemic. Is one recommendation that comes into, right. Of course, depending on everybody's preferences and the situation there. Uh, but talking in general, right? Parents wants to know how do we really start that process, ma'am? How do we start taking the child away from breastfeeding?
yeah, that is one difficult thing that every mom and every parent goes through, because I have also gone through it, and it's very emotionally very draining actually. So right now, every most of the guidelines say that you can breastfeed until the baby weans off. I've seen moms who are breastfeeding their 5-year-old kid also. So that totally depends on the baby and the mom. There is a concept now called as self weaning from the breast. You allow the child to stop breastfeeding from you. That is one thing that most of them tell, but it will not be okay for every mom, because they have their own they'll have to go to job and like that. So how can you gradually decrease? So first, start decreasing the feed that he doesn't need. Like in the mid morning, they'll come running for the feed when they're 1 year old, 1.5 years old. So slowly decrease one by one. So this week, if you decrease the if you stop the 11 a.m. feed, then the next week 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. like that, slowly decrease one by one. And then when they come for breastfeeding, you can keep a small glass of water and give them the water before breastfeeding. That might quench their thirst and they may go away. That is one thing. And like this, you can practice different things during the night. You can give them very heavy food. I mean, very heavy food in the sense, good heavy food that they sleep, because night feeding is the most important thing that we can't ignore, because baby will be cranky in the night, and they will definitely need the night feeding. So day feeding you can stop one by one week, and stop the day feeding fully. Night feeding is the most challenging part. So mostly what they tell is, allow the baby to sleep with their grandparents or father in another room and you stay away. But that is
Hmm.
very difficult. So that also, you have to give them a good dinner, and make sure if they are taking cow's milk, you can heat and keep cow's milk in a flask or something. And when they want breastfeed, you can try giving that. It's a slow process. It don't happen overnight. It will take 1 or 2 months. There is one thing that I don't recommend, but many people do. They just apply neem oil on the nipples. But that is very, I mean, it doesn't harm the baby, but it is very cruel to make the babies do that, because they will develop a negative thing to the breast then. Because that also we don't want them to get it, because that is what mother's love means for them. And when we stop breastfeeding, also make sure after 1 or 2 years, the breastfeeding is mainly for comfort. They come to the mom for comfort, and through breastfeeding they get that comfort. So make sure you cuddle your baby. You have get to spend more time with them also while you're stopping breastfeeding. Some parents think that I should not go in front of my son if I want to breastfeed, and they just leave the place for 2 or 3 days and allow the baby to be alone with their grandparents. that also will develop a negative effect, and I don't recommend that. So weaning from breastfeeding is very difficult, but it has to be a slow and gradual process, not an abrupt process.
Hmm. Yes, yes. I have two daughters, ma'am, so I have gone through
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
in fact, I'm going through that phase with my second daughter, so I could
Okay.
understand. So there's a parent who asked that she has a twin and around 1 year old, and their weight is around 7 kg. I'm not able to read it well. I think around 7 kg. And her concern is if she wants to stop breastfeeding now, she has two problems. One is to manage stop breastfeeding, and other one is to increase the weight of the child because they are a little underweight now. Right? How do we take that, ma'am?
So stopping the breastfeeding is entirely up to her, because that I can't influence. It's up to her and her situation. But I recommend for breastfeeding until 2 years, also at least 2 years. So that is one thing. And weight is one thing. Many parents are worried, and we tell this one formula only. Don't look at the scales. Look at the baby. So don't look at the weighing scale. Look at the baby. If the baby is very active, healthy, and there is no other issues, then you don't have to worry about the baby's weight, because being chubby and fat is not a sign of a good health. An active baby is a sign of a good health, and so she doesn't have to be worried about that. While there are lots and lots of breastfeeding, weight gaining foods, I can just give you a few things. Like all our this like Satmav health mix that packs in lot and lot of nutrients to it. So one bowl of Satmav health mix in the morning as breakfast for them will be very good. Adding dry fruits powder to all the foods, and adding a drop of ghee to all the foods. And then as I told, all the seeds can be given, bananas can be given, and fruits, any fruits can be given for weight gain. And we have other dairy products also can be given, cheese, butter, everything in moderation. That is the one thing they should know. If they want to give the baby, they want to get the baby way more, they just keep on adding lot and lot of ghee in every food, and that is not healthy. You have to add 1 teaspoon of ghee to 1 serving of food. Like that we can do. And milkshakes. If the baby is above 1 year, then they can start milk and milk products, everything for them. Eggs are there, meat is there. So there are lots of weight gaining foods. We have a whole list. I can share with you. You can share with them. That will be helpful. I'm telling everything. We have the recipes also in our blog for each food. So that will be more easier.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Yes, weight is one issue, ma'am. In fact, there are a couple of questions specific to children less than 1 year old. Right?
Yeah.
There's one parent who just asked on the chat can I give banana daily for a 10-month-old baby, that too during the rainy season?
See, I have done a research article on can I give banana curd and everything to the baby during cough and cold. There is absolutely no research that tells that giving banana will cause cold in babies. There is something, some people believe that it causes phlegm, like it increases the mucus production, but it varies from baby to baby. Make sure some babies may react to some foods differently. Like every baby is not the same. So if your baby is taking the banana good and there is she doesn't get phlegm or anything, then no issues. Daily one banana is perfectly fine.
Interesting. And people have also asked about non-vegetarian food for 1-year-old kid. How do we introduce it?
So non-vegetarian food, like how we tell is, first start with a soup of the, for example, if you're going to give chicken. So first start with give them a little broth. We sell not the soup, but the broth of the chicken. Like you boil chicken in with all the spices and everything. Just take a thick broth of the soup and give them first week you can start with it. Then the next week, if they accept it, okay, then next week you can start with steamed chicken. Like you don't fry the chicken, but not like you put it, how you put it in biryani. Those chickens you can start giving them with less spices. And like the same thing for mutton. For fish, fish is very, very healthy, and you can start from 6 months itself, all these things. You'll have to just test them once and then give them, not with too much of spices. You can add a little bit of pepper and jeera in that for digestion, and then you can give that. Fish also, you can take the fleshy part of the fish, cut them into squares, and then salt them in ghee with little pepper and jeera. It will be very, very tasty. You can start giving like that. First we do like this, then after 1 year, after a couple of experiments like this, you can start giving what the others are eating also, like chicken colombo, chicken in biryani, everything can be given.
Interesting. There is a specific question about rock salt and jaggery. Can we introduce rock salt and jaggery to less than 1 year old?
We don't advise either jaggery or salt below 1 year old, because what happens is, though there is people are giving it now, there is a lot of instances where there with salt there is kidney failure, all, but that is in extreme cases. But below 1 year, it's better to prevent to not to give this, because um, it's better to prevent sugar and salt before 1 year. Even though jaggery is healthy, even though our traditional foods add jaggery to every food, nowadays what the jaggery we get is not very pure. Even if it is organic, very pure also, we tell the parents not to give before 1 year. You can start slowly after 1 year, because nowadays what happens is, when they start itself, they start with the sweet food. They put in a lot of jaggery because they want the baby to eat it. They put a lot of jaggery or sugar, and the baby will have a predilection only for sweet foods. And when they grow up, that predilection grows up, and that will turn away to all those junk foods and everything. So it's always better to avoid jaggery and sugar, salt before 1 year, and then also slowly introduce jaggery, not too much of anything.
Okay, ma'am, this response puzzles me, because all the packed food that we get in the market, right, all the big brand formula food, they're all very, very, very sweet.
That's why we don't. I can tell you my example. For my son, when I was married, I didn't have the thing to give him homemade food, because everyone was forcing. I gave him Cerelac only in the early 2010 and all. But just for 1 month I gave, and I can see how sweet it was. It was just, he became very fussy about after that. I mean, giving those packed foods. If you see I don't want to mention the name, but if you see the packed food for babies, you can see so much amount of sugar in that. And that too direct sugar, not the sugar in the natural sugar. It's a direct sugar. That's how they make those things very tasty. And people go on buying that because the babies like that. And that is a very, what to tell, it is not healthy at all. Everything, all the commercial drinks are loaded with sugar, and it's not healthy at all to give so much of. That's why when you give all these commercial drink mixed milk drink to your baby, they'll become very active. We'll think that, okay, this food is giving them energy, so they're active, but it is not the energy, but the sugar in that is making them active, hyperactive. So that will lead to not now, but in future, it will lead to a lot of problems: obesity, weight gain, everything.
So this, we are referring to the formula food for infants, as well as this drinks for 4 to 6 year old and above. The
formula milk won't have much sugar. All those instant food for babies, cereals and all is there, no? So that all has a lot of sugar, and all the commercial health drinks have lots of sugar. You just once go through the nutrition label, and you'll be shocked to know that there is nothing healthy in that. They just do it with brand, and they add all the nutrition in form of, you can see that vitamin C added like that. I mean, not vitamin C, other vitamins will be added. It's not natural also.
Interesting. Yeah. So parent has asked about a folic acid supplement for a 2-year-old child. Something which can be bottle fed. Is it required? No.
Unless your pediatrician tells that it is required, I don't think so. For both my kids, I have not given even multivitamin drops. If you give them good healthy diet, no extra medicines like all these vitamins are required at all. So it's just when people ask, when they go to the pediatrician and ask, give something to make my baby healthy, they just write the multivitamins. So I don't think so multivitamin is not needed at all. If you're giving a healthy, and breast milk itself has so much of nutrients. So that's why we tell them keep on breastfeeding. For example, if the baby has cold or cough, the when it suckles the mom, the saliva will elicit an reflex which will tell the brain of the mom to produce certain antibodies in the breast milk, and that will be passed to the baby. So that's how so much. I mean, we call breast milk as liquid gold. So that's very very important. People need to know that, because breast milk has so much of nutrition rather than all these extra multivitamins and everything. Our breast milk is more intelligent than the pediatrician. I think it will detect all the infections and help the baby overcome it.
Interesting. Yeah. So speaking about non-vegetarian food, there is a specific question in the chat asking which part of egg can we give to a child, white or yellow?
Both, because people tell don't give yellow, don't give white, and but we advise to give the whole part of the egg right from 6 months. Except that egg white will have some allergy, so you'll have to test it first. Give it egg white. If there is no allergy, then you can give the yellow also.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. So there's a parent who said like both her daughters have spectacles. So
Yeah.
Any food related to eyes?
See, at this age, spectacles can be not related to food deficiency, I think. It might be due to hereditary or some other thing. Healthy food is like carrots, green leafy vegetables are always important for eyesight. Carotenes are always important. All the orange foods are very important for eyes. But please don't think food food replacement will help remove the spectacles, because there might be some other pathological reason also. So you can supplement with healthy foods.
There is a question about tulsi leaf. Can we give tulsi leaf to a 6-month-old baby?
See, leaf as such cannot be given to babies because they might not, it might not suit them. And then water, tulsi leaf water can be given in sips in moderation. Like not every day, all the water. I mean, before 1 year, before 6 months, we don't even allow to give anything else except the breast milk. Even after 6 months, when we start weaning process also, breast milk has enough water content, and that is enough for the water content for the body. If you want to give water, you can add a little bit of tulsi leaves and give 2 or 3 sips of tulsi, but always in moderation. Please note that.
Yeah, ma'am, a little lengthy discussion because a lot of questions are there. How to make my baby eat? There is a lot of questions on, he does not even eat 10 seeds of pomegranates, right? And after a couple of spoons, he runs away, right?
That's one big thing that every parent asks. I will just, my concept will be entirely different, but that helps babies eat. First, we have to break the negative relationship with food. We should stop feeding them. They should feed by themselves. Self-feeding helps the baby, maybe not now, but in future, it will help them have a good, healthy relationship with food. So what we tell is there is a concept called baby-led weaning, wherein we wean the baby according to their own frequencies. Like what we do is we keep like after 6 months, this I'm telling, but for every kid, what I advise is you give them the food and keep them a plate of food in front of them and allow them to play with it or eat them of their own. That will help them explore the shape, types, taste, everything, because they won't be eating much of food from that, but that will help them give a healthy relationship. They'll take it to their mouth, they'll take it everywhere, they'll waste a lot of foods, but that is perfectly okay. Please believe me, it worked with my daughter, because from 6 months I did only baby-led weaning for her, and from 1 year, she from 6 months that she used to eat on her own only. We'll keep a plate of idli and mix with some sambar, make it meshy and give. She'll take with her hands, eat it, put it everywhere, but something will go in. I'll supplement with breast milk there. But then slowly she started eating of her own, and that eating of their own will prevent the fussiness fully. And that is one point. And never tell them, if you eat this, I'll give you that, because then they will eat only for that. We should give them a good healthy relationship with food. When they're eating something, you can tell the stories about what the thing is. For example, if they're eating carrot, like how carrot is made, how, from where it comes from Ooty, what is there in Ooty, something very interesting, so that they will relate it to something very sweet memories or something like that. Don't always tell them, keep on prodding them, eat, eat, eat. That will give a very, very negative relationship. I know moms cannot sleep well if their baby doesn't eat, but if you keep on telling them eat, they'll become more fussy and more fussy. And toddlers can be really, really very fussy. So if they like one food this week, they won't like that food next week. So we'll have to create new recipes, try new fruits, everything. If you keep on giving the same fruit daily for 1 week, they'll definitely get fed up. So we'll have to change the texture. Now baby feeders are available. In that, what you can do is you can cut the fruits into small parts and put it in that, and they will just keep on sucking that they'll come to know of their taste by themselves. You don't have to force feed them. And also one thing I see is people mash everything up and try to put in inside their baby's mouth. Please stop that. And we have to make them know of the textures. So mashing the food can stop at 8 months. After that, you can give them food that is that is unmashed, and that will help them explore the textures. For example, banana will be squishy, apple will be hard. So this all texture differences they will itself know up. You can just cut up apples, bananas, mangoes, everything. Mango, all you can give, peel the peel the skin and give them fully. They can relish the mango. So that's how we now the concept is self weaning only. So in that, people become, babies are lesser fussier than the babies who are fed with spoons and like how we feed the babies. That is not giving good results nowadays, because when moms keep on forcing food, there is a negative relationship, and babies don't like to eat food at all. They run away, and we have to run behind them. Make it like an play for them. They'll definitely like it.
I have a question here, ma'am. So
Yeah.
when it comes to taking the baby away from breast milk, right? You also mentioned that it becomes an emotional need for a kid.
Yeah.
So as the child grows older, like especially after 2 years, there are a lot of people who are asking for how to stop after 2 years. After 2 years, it becomes even more emotionally attached
Yeah.
thing for the child. So, and the parent also has, maybe in many cases, the parent have taken a parental gap for 2 years or so and want to
Yeah.
return to a regular
Yeah.
work or
Yeah.
something. And I guess that becomes a very emotional thing in the entire family to manage
Yeah.
that particular situation. How do you think the family members can support in that stage, ma'am?
Yeah, that when the baby comes for feeding, we can divert it with the other family members can divert it with playing with him, taking him outside, giving him some other healthy snack. And especially in the night, it's very, very difficult. What has worked for many moms in our community is leaving them with grandparents who are very affectionate with them, with the baby. So night also, when the baby gets up, they engage the baby well, give him milk. They don't, he doesn't feel the need of his mother then, if the baby is well cared of. So that also is very important, because I don't blame the grand parents, but sometimes they also are very old and they might get irritated in the night. So that's also very important. Or the father can sleep with the baby, take care of him. That develops a special bonding. Even for me, after I got pregnant with my second child, my son and my husband became more closer, and they are now the best friends now. When I was pregnant, my son started drifting to my husband more. So that also happens. He can take him for outings, leave the mother for some time to rest, and that will develop a special bonding with them. And the night also he can take care of the baby. That is also lots of nuclear families are doing that only because they don't have the grandparents with them. The father takes the responsibility of weaning the kid. He takes care of the whole night, and the next in the days also, whenever the baby is crying for milk, he has to divert it. That's the only thing we can do other than such neem oil practices all.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Uh, yes. There are questions on millets, ma'am. Right.
Yeah,
So I'm sure all your products have a lot of ingredients.
yeah, yeah,
So millets has its own round of
yeah,
thinking patterns. Some people say don't you introduce millets in the early age.
yeah,
Some
yeah,
people say it is heat.
yeah.
So what are the basic things we should know about millets for young children now?
For young children for 6 months old, now as I told you, the guidelines are give everything after 6 months. So millets also can be given. For some children, ragi might not suit in the summers. It might suit only in winters. So it differs from child to child. I give my kids ragi the whole year. I give all through the year. At least once a week we have ragi in our diet. So millets, ragi, all those things are super healthy. I know that everyone should be knowing that by now. So we can introduce immediately after 6 months. But one thing I would like to suggest is try one millet, because we don't know what millet which will be okay with the kid. Some kids develop constipation also, so it's always better to introduce one millet. Just we have lots of recipes in millet for babies, like we make porridges, and everything combined together. We have millet satuma, things like that also. So that also you can give. There is no definite thing that you should not give millet to babies. Nothing of that sort now. Actually, according to WHO, everything can be given after 6 months, and we should take care of the family history of allergy. For example, some may have nut allergies. So in that cases, if your parent has a nut allergy, then the child should be tested for each nut and then given. That's it, what we have to take care of. Other than that, there is no issues at all. You can start millets from 6 months.
Interesting one. Uh, so, so there is a reverse pattern also. The one parent has asked that her daughter is 11 months old,
Okay.
and that kid takes only and ragi and blended rice, nothing else. Right.
That happens.
So, so how do we handle it? Is it
First,
okay or is it okay to
no,
put
no,
this?
no. It's not perfect. It's not okay. After 1 year, we advise the parent to give the baby what the family eats. The baby should eat a varied diet, not the same diet the whole day. So it's up to the parent, because there will be tantrums from the baby that she won't eat that this. We'll have to definitely try changing that. First. Include more varieties in her diet, like you give this only for the morning, then for afternoon start with khichdi. First the baby will definitely reject it. We'll have to slowly introduce it. What happens is, the first time they reject, the second time they reject, the third time they reject, the mom gets depressed, and she switch over to the normal thing which we give, thinking that the baby will at least get nutrition if she eats the same diet. But that is not so. Please keep complementing. Breastfeeding is the main nutrition until 1 year. What all we are giving is only complementary foods. That's why we are telling it as complementary foods. So if your baby is breastfeeding, don't worry about its nutrition. You can try and vary all these complementary foods. After 1 year also, please keep trying. Don't give the same food throughout the day or daily. That is definitely not healthy.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Um, uh, any strategies for kids who don't open their mouth at all? Right.
I told no, self feeding is the only thing, and another thing is you can
Hmm.
make them eat as a family. Like now
Hmm.
we give the concept is give the baby the food first, then everybody eats, or everybody eats separately. But when
Hmm.
we eat, everybody eats together. The baby
Hmm.
will have a healthy atmosphere. Even there is only three people in the house, it's always
Hmm.
better to eat everyone together and keep a plate before the baby and put what you are putting. She might not eat it, but at least she will play with it and get a healthy relationship. It's very
Hmm.
difficult. If you keep on forcing into the mouth, then that is a very, very negative relationship. please allow them to play with food. That's what our people tell, you should not play with food. It's not good for the family. But nowadays, that's what we have to do. They have to explore by themselves. Please allow that, and then you can see the change.
I'm happy that we are repeating this thing, ma'am. There is one end of it, constipation, right?
Yeah, definitely.
There is one parent who has mentioned that only if she gives a particular medicine, the child can do potty in the morning, right?
Is there any mention how old is the baby?
It was there in the chat. I guess it was 1.5 years. Yeah, 1.5 year baby.
Yeah, that is a whole topic by itself, potty training. And until 1 year, until 6 months, if the baby doesn't pass motions for 1 week also, it is okay. But after that, if they don't pass motions regularly, then it becomes a concern. We'll have to see what foods help them, we always tell fiber rich foods, adding banana daily to the diet, adding a lot of fruits, especially water. After 1 year, some parents, some kids don't like water because it doesn't have taste. But water is very, very sorry, just a second, important ingredient for motion formation. And so water is very, very important. The water content daily, we have to monitor the water content for the baby, and keep a note on how much water the baby is drinking, because if the water is not enough, then the motions, I mean the stool won't be formed properly. That is one thing. And this is a one basic step that our ancestors used to do. Daily make the baby squat in the morning soon after they get up. So that's one thing our dads and moms used to do, but now we have ignored it completely. Now potty training chairs are available, so daily make the baby to sit on that chair in the morning soon after they finish their brushing and everything. Because what is the science behind this is, when they sit, their muscles will contract, so it will automatically make the rectum to contract, and then the motion will be pushed out. Even the first few days it won't come, but daily when they do that, it will slowly, they'll develop a habit. That is one important habit that we are all missing now, because most of the time they are in diapers, and when they are in diapers they go by themselves. So we don't make them sit anywhere until 1 year mostly. So what people do is, after 8 months itself, nowadays they are making them squat on the, when the baby starts walking or starts sitting, they make to sit in our Indian style, like Indian style. So we have to sit, and that will help the, help normal bowel movements also. So that is one thing we are missing that we can do, and including a lot of fruits, fibers in the meals. And if breastfeeding itself will help in easy bowel movements. So I need to know exactly what that parent is facing to help them. This is a general type of thing I'm telling.
Yes, but as you mentioned, including a lot of fiber in the food, is it recommended?
Very recommended. All fruits, vegetables, and all these junk foods like cakes, breads, all maida containing foods, actually they are constipating foods. So when now the fashion has become giving bread in the morning, so daily bread in the morning, lots of maida, all those concentrated starch, no, they'll not allow easy defecation. Fiber should be more. Lots of fruits, vegetables, green leafy vegetables are we tell nattukai, no, all are bitter gourd, snake gourd, bottle gourd, all those things have good fiber content. So including all of them in the diet will be very, very good.
For every question, there are parents at both ends. So there is one parent asking, my child 1 year old is doing 44 times a day. Is it okay?
This is one thing that many parents ask. I'll just tell them this also. Whenever we eat, whenever we give the baby food, she passes potty. So there is no nutrition absorbed. Everything comes in the potty. That is perfectly normal, because whatever you give, when it goes to the stomach, it will elicit a contraction from the stomach. That contraction will pass to the whole intestine and then to the rectum, and will push the food that is already, push the stool that is already in the rectum. So it's not the food that what you're giving comes out of the rectum. It is already collected stool that is in the rectum that comes out. I hope I'm making sense, because this is one question we always get. Whenever we give food, my baby does potty, so nothing is absorbed. It's not like that. Unless the stools are very watery, blood stained, very greenish, then you don't have to worry about passing many times.
Yes. There's that question gets repeated. So about sprouts, we talked about
Yeah.
millets, fruits,
Yeah.
and sprouts. 6 months onwards, is it okay to give sprouts?
Yeah, definitely. We can give sprouts. How we can give is, you can sprout it. There are lots of recipes for that. Sprout ragi, fry it and then make it powder and give it. Because the raw sprouts will not suit for kids. So we can make a powder and then give it. It will still retain the nutrition.
Okay.
Sprouting actually is very what nutritious, because it helps absorb the sprout will help absorb the other nutrients also. When we are sprouting, the it becomes very nutritious, and when we eat the sprouted grains, it will help absorb the other nutrition from the uh, other grains also.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Uh, any Indian food, ma'am, which is made out of sprout at home? I
Yeah.
don't remember any. Are there any?
We
Uh,
have a sprouted satuma mix itself. We sprout 17 ingredients in that. You can sprout green gram, black gram, channa, ragi, and then wheat also can be sprouted. Um, these are the common things that we sprout. Kambu, I mean, it's a millet, it can be sprouted. So we can sprout many ingredients.
Interesting, interesting. So there's one question about Nikki has repeated, so I will ask this question here. Sorry. Yeah. Uh, Self-weaning, I'm not able to get that question. I guess it was about baby-led weaning at 2 years, and especially Indian food, which is usually curry-based. Um, I couldn't understand the question completely,
No,
ma'am, but
she's asking whether we can do baby-led weaning at 2 years. Baby-led weaning can be done at any years. Yes, Indian food is curry-based. What she's asking is, baby-led weaning in foreign countries, it's easy because they give different types of food. Our food are mostly rice and curries which are mixed together. Just allow them to explore it. Put a little bit of rice and a little bit of sambar or any curry in that, mix it and give them, they will eat. There is a special Facebook group in Indian for Indian moms, Baby Led Weaning India. It's very good. You can get lots of inspiration from that. You can join that group and it will be very useful for you.
okay, interesting. Yeah, so the other questions are, how frequently should we give meal to 1 year old baby, ma'am?
3 meals
Yes.
a day, two snacks is the one that we recommend after eight
Hmm.
months of age.
Hmm.
So 3 meals can be bit heavy and two snacks can be healthy ones. And if your
Hmm.
baby doesn't like big meals, like you give a good hearty lunch, then you can give every 2 hours some healthy nutrition loaded things, but not snacks. Snacks in the sense biscuits, bread, all those things are not advisable. Healthy snacks, sprout salad. There are lots and lots of recipes in our blog. You can go through that and you can give that.
Sure, sure. I will share the links to ma'am's blog here, and I will also share few articles from her later through email to your registered email addresses. There is a question on parent having less milk to feed. They rely
Yeah.
on formula milk. So how do they balance the nutrition for the child, ma'am, beyond formula milk?
See, until 6 months, it's breastfeeding and formula milk alone. Please don't introduce anything else until 6 months, because the baby's intestinal system will be not ready to absorb solids. So it's always best, if your breastfeeding is less, then supplement it with formula feed, but not any other, please. After 6 months, you can start with complementary foods. There are so many complementary foods, rice, everything that you can supplement it, but make sure you don't give anything before 6 months.
Okay. Uh, One is asking for the name of the group.
Yeah, it's Baby Led Weaning India group.
Yes.
If you go to
I am
go
just
to Facebook and
sending that link here. I guess it would be tremendously useful for people. Okay. Yes. Okay. Uh, I think we have covered most of the questions, and there is a direct question: is Cerelac safe to feed?
If you ask like that, then you can just check the ingredients and see, because that's what I can tell you now, because I'm also a brand and I can't tell anything about the other brands. So just check the ingredients and see how much sugar is there, how much other preservatives are there, and everything, because for babies, we don't advise any preservatives or anything right from start. If we add preservatives, then when the baby grows, everything in the world now is contaminated, all are full of lot of preservatives and everything. So at least during their baby years, let us feed them the best of food that we can give them.
Okay, I will move to the next question. So there is a question about teething which Naria has repeated.
Yeah.
So when the child is teething, he or she eats less. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. They'll have that pain. So
Uh,
we have to soothe them. Two ideas I can give you is, one thing is breast milk pop cycles. I don't know whether you have heard that. Just pump the breast milk and put them in pop cycle holder and freeze them, and you can give that. That will help them soothe their gums. And also, please don't allow them to chew on plastic frozen teethers, because instead of that, you can make fruit teethers by yourself, fruit pop cycles. You can make, there are molds available now, small molds. You can just put a fruit inside that and freeze it and give to your baby. That will have a soothing effect to their gums. So during teething, there will be lots of problems, but we'll have to anyway go through that. And during teething, the most important comfort food is breast milk. So keep giving that, and don't force them to eat that, this and this. Let them, give them relief to their teething pain and everything.
Okay, okay. Cold is another problem. Generally, I think there are
Yeah,
a lot of questions before also, but there are Naira mentioned. Even my elder daughter had cold most of the time when she was growing up.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Especially she mentioned while sleeping, her nose starts making sound. Right.
That is
And
because, yeah, that is
uh,
because secretions are pulled up in the nose and through the respiratory tract. That's why the sounds are there. We'll have to make them remove all the secretions by daily, by coughing or sneezing and everything. We can do that only, because giving antibiotics continuously is also not advisable. And remove the secretions before they sleep, so that they'll sleep peacefully. That's it.
is those vapors encouraged, ma'am, like haldi vapors and those things?
Yeah. Vapors, simple water vapor is enough, because it will thin the mucus inside, and the mucus will start coming. You don't even have to add anything in that. For babies, best is simple water vapor, or what they tell is a steamy bathroom. Take the baby into a steamy bathroom.
Hmm.
Allow to, before you take the baby inside, allow hot water to fall
Hmm.
through in a bucket or through the shower, and make
Hmm.
the bathroom steamy. That itself you can, for small babies, I mean, you can hold the baby in the hand for some time inside. That will itself thin their mucus secretions.
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
all these, what they do is, that vapor with a it will have a vapor machine are there. No, that all will be too heavy for the babies. Some people make the baby to force into that. That will be too heavy. You have to, that will elicit a different effect then.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. There's a parent who's asking a child prefers 2-year-old child prefers
Yeah,
spicy food, right?
yeah, that's okay.
Is it
Not
okay?
as long as it's not too spicy. The normal
Hmm.
spice what you have, because nowadays what I have seen is, I have lots of readers telling me my baby doesn't like sweet food. My baby likes only spicy food. So that is a trend. That is because now people are not giving sweet or anything before 1 year. So they tend to go to that, not too spicy. and not too artificial spices. Like our natural pepper, jeera, mirchi is okay, but other with preservative loaded ones, we don't tell them to give it.
So Narendra asked another interesting question. I think most parents
Yeah.
miss to ask it.
Yeah.
Child goes to sleep with their fingers on, right? The best sootheners in the world, right?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
particular kid takes two fingers. So,
Yeah.
what should
That
he
is
be doing?
one topic altogether. First, we have to find why the baby. Some babies do it because they don't. I have seen this. I don't know. I don't tell. I'm not complaining, but sometimes when the mother goes to work or the mother is away from the baby for a long time, they take soothing comfort from the fingers. So we have to really see what is the reason that is making, and slowly tying up the baby's fingers and putting neem oil, that is all not healthy. We have to see, it's a whole concept, but it's a whole topic by itself, which I have to talk in a lengthy manner, starting from why it starts and how to be prevented. Maybe another meeting that, because in another 2 minutes I can't explain everything, but it is a way of comforting, and we need to know why the baby is doing that and give the comfort that it deserves.
Hmm, Yes. Uh, yeah. So how many times can give milk a day for a 2-year-old baby? This kid is only, I think he's surviving on milk, not willing to take food.
Yeah, 240 to 250 ml per feed 2 times a day is what we advise for milk, because too much of
Uh,
milk will stop the baby from taking other foods. So twice a day, morning and evening, that much milk is enough.
okay. And then I think they have to get out strategies to make that kid eat something else, maybe
Yeah,
sapuma,
it's very
right?
difficult.
I think we can move to that. Yeah, Gayatri has a question. So she has a 20-day-old kid and less breastfeed,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, breast milk is not enough, right? What can be done to naturally increase the breast milk?
uh, this is also, I have a different concept, because that is what science says. All these foods that they tell which increases breast milk doesn't increase breast milk. That is what science says now. What will actually help increase breast milk is making the baby suckle often. So baby has to be put in the breast often. When the baby suckles, there will be a reflex going from the breast to the brain, and there will be a hormone that is secreted. That hormone in turn will increase the breast milk secretion. So what they do is usually they think when the baby is keeping on crying, they think the milk is not enough and start giving formula milk. But one thing they miss is we have to every 2 hours or 1 hour, every 2 hours you have to, even if the baby is not asking for feed, you have to make the baby suckle, because it's suckling, it's called a suckling reflex. That reflex will make more make help in more breast milk secretion. All these foods that are told to increase breast milk actually have no role. That's what research says now.
Mhm. Is there any beyond food? Is there peace, stresslessness required for the
Yeah,
mother?
that is also there, but when the baby suckles itself, it'll have a very positive reaction. Just ask them to do that every 2 hours a day, and you can see the increase by themselves. The mom also has to be peaceful, that's there, but this is one thing that will increase the, because nowadays everybody is stressed out. There is not one person who doesn't have stress. So this is one way to increase the secretion.
Yes. Maybe there are last two questions. We will try to close with those two questions alone.
Yeah, yeah,
So there one is a follow-up question where Vandita said, like we suggested her for the sound from the from the nose for the child.
yeah, yeah.
So how do we make the baby cough or sneeze, ma'am?
Yeah, that's also
Uh,
difficult. One thing you can do is uh, you can thin the mucus by putting a nasal solution in the nose. That will thin the mucus and the baby might swallow. Or if the baby is at least 1.5 years old, we can teach them to sneeze out the secretion. That maybe I can help out if she can message me in my Facebook page.
Hmm. Okay. I will share ma'am's Facebook page. I will send a detailed mail with many links that she has referred. Also,
Yeah.
with you'll be able to send a document also, ma'am. You mentioned about
Yeah,
ages
yeah,
of food.
definitely. I will
Yeah,
do
so
that.
that also I will share with you. So we will take one last question. I think it's an important question.
Yeah.
1.5-year-old child, she is not chewing the food. She is swallowing directly. Right.
This is also very, very important because chewing helps the food to get actually in our mouth itself, the half of the enzymes act on it and help the food when it goes inside the stomach. It should be in this consistency so that the stomach can easily digest. When they swallow it directly, the stomach will find very difficult to digest, and that will lead to lethargic digestion, constipation, all those related things will come. Chewing,
Hmm.
what happens is when you keep on pushing food inside the mouth, the baby will become very lazy. Mom wants me to take the food, that's it, put the food inside, they'll just swallow it. So you'll have to teach. Everything is in the hands of the parents now. We'll have to teach them how to chew foods. First, for that, avoid mashing the foods. Always give in the like rice, all they put it in the mixie and just take it in spoon and keep on giving. That should be avoided. Let the baby uh, know the consistency, the texture, and everything has to be self-feeding will help relieve all these problems. So you'll have to definitely, you can start with first with a fruit like a banana. You can cut pieces and give and ask the baby to take it by itself and eat. She won't swallow it, she'll definitely want to taste it. So we'll only have to inculcate all these good habits in them. It will take some time, but believe me, the kids are very fast nowadays and they will know what to do. So it's up to us. Please don't mash foods and give them. That's a very bad way, and that will develop a very all these just swallowing like that.
Hmm, interesting. Ma'am, we're almost done with the time.
Yeah,
So I
thank you.
generally ask this question towards the end. So if
Yeah,
you have only half a minute, right, and if you
yeah,
want to give the best advice for all of us parents here, what would
yeah.
that be, ma'am? Hmm.
Trust your baby. Trust your babies. What, because nowadays what we think is we know best for the babies, but the babies now know best for them. Trust your baby and allow the baby to grow by itself. Don't keep on forcing everything on the baby. That will develop a bad for them with everything. I don't tell only about food, their games, their playing, everything. We are forcing them do this. We are watching so many parenting videos, so many things. Every parent wants their kid to be writing, playing, and drawing, doing that. This, please allow the kids to be themselves. That itself is a huge boon as a parent for them. That is the gift we have to give to them.
Beautifully said, ma'am. Beautifully said. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you
Uh,
so much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. And thanks a lot, every parent out there. You made this session wonderful with all your questions. I think every question was relevant to every other parent
Yeah,
out there. Personally, this is one of the best sessions that we have done, best meetups we have done. As a parent, I'm very happy about this meetup,
yeah,
ma'am.
thank you
Thank
so
you. See
much.
you again in next sometime soon, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for hosting me today. Even I enjoyed it. I don't do such sessions for my little moped family. Maybe I should think of doing like this.
Yes,
Thank you
yes,
so much.
yes. Thanks a lot. Thanks, everyone. See you all. Have a
Thank
nice
Yeah,
evening. Bye
bye.
bye.